On June 23, 1940, just 2 days after France signed an armistice with Germany, Adolf Hitler made a brief and largely symbolic visit to Paris. The German dictator had long admired the French capital, and his visit was seen as a way to assert his dominance over the conquered city. Hitler took his personal architect Albert Speer and his sculptor Arno Breker with him to Paris. He arrived in Paris by plane on the morning of June 23rd. The Battle of France had been a swift and decisive victory for Germany. Within 6 weeks, the French army had been defeated and the country was forced to surrender. Hitler's visit to Paris was intended to humiliate the French people and to demonstrate the power of the German Reich. The German dictator was greeted at the airport by a contingent of French officials, but there were no crowds of cheering Parisians. Hitler spent the day touring the city's most famous landmarks, including the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, and the Notre Dame Cathedral. Hitler was particularly interested in the architectural features of Paris. He was especially impressed by the Opera House, which he called a masterpiece of architecture. He also admired the Pantheon and Sacré-Cœur, which he considered to be great works of art. For the most part, Hitler was ignored by the Parisians he encountered during his tour. On a few occasions, people recognized him and stared at him, but no one approached him. Hitler seemed to be unfazed by the lack of attention, and he continued his tour with his usual air of arrogance. Hitler was reportedly very pleased with his visit to Paris. He told his entourage that it had been the dream of his life to see the city. He also said that he was happy to have had that dream fulfilled today. Hitler's visit to Paris was filmed by German newsreel cameramen. The footage was later used in propaganda films to show the world that the German dictator was in control of France. Hitler's visit to Paris was a propaganda coup for the Nazi regime. The German newsreel footage of Hitler's tour of the city was widely circulated, and it served to reinforce the image of Hitler as a powerful and victorious leader. The visit also served to humiliate the French people and to remind them of their defeat. In 1944, as Allied troops began to march through northwest France, Hitler ordered the Eiffel Tower to be dismantled, but his order was never carried out. The French authorities had cut the lift cables to the Eiffel Tower shortly before the Germans took over Paris, so it was not possible to dismantle it. Soon after Hitler gave the order, destroy Paris in 1944, but it was never carried out. The German general in charge of the city, Dietrich von Choltitz, disobeyed the order and surrendered Paris to the Allies without a fight. Thanks very much indeed for watching. If you would like to hear some more amazing stories, please subscribe and like the video. See you next time.